So the reason I'm here and I'm doing this the morning after edition is because we really do have to sometimes wake up and have that sense of like, because if I want to get off this running around bandwagon, if I'm really tired of this, and that's the question, are you tired? If you're tired of it, we got to figure out how to move away from it. And the only way to do that, I'm going to take a tip from the sailors. You have to get a focus. You have to know where you want to go. You can't be in a ship out on the ocean just floating around, you know? So I titled this today for the leaving MAGA voters and the people that are literally don't know what to do. You're wearing the hat. You've all in. And yet this isn't right. This isn't feeling good to you. So if you're not feeling good about it, that's what we got to talk about. So the way that we're doing this, and I'm working this through today, it's kind of a refresher. Like I said, it's the morning after edition. This is political psychology because you've been manipulated. You've been betrayed. And that's really hard when you're in the middle of it and that you love the person and you trusted them and you believed them. You wanted them to be the guy. I understand, but he's not. And this isn't. So I've got this test. So this is the compass. Really simple test. 4 questions, because you do have to stop and you have to test yourself. So let's be honest with ourselves. Let's respect ourselves. Okay. So the compass test, 0 to 100. You check yourself, check your own scores. Here we go. 0. I'm not feeling this at all. My MAGA regret is a 0. Or it's 100. Yeah, I love MAGA. This is fantastic. It's 100. Your choice. Number 1, 4 questions. Number 1, the economy. Are you really happy with the economy? 0 to 100. Number 2, ICE. Yes. How about those immigration enforcements? How about all that drama in the streets? Is the military still in your neighborhood? 0 to 100. Next up, here we go. The war. It may or may not be a war because it wasn't officially ever declared a war, but our military is over there. Our service members are in danger. We're spending $1 billion a day dropping a bunch of bombs and military stuff. Is that what you promised? 0 to 100. And the last one is faith. I'm putting faith out there as the big final straw. Is what he's doing religious the way that you practice your faith? 0? We have to talk about this. Or 100, go back to your party. They've got as many problems as the MAGA people do. We got to figure this out. And being able to have a respectful conversation is what it begins with. So I've decided we need a new code. The code is going to be respect and truth. Respect myself, be honest with myself, because then I can respect others and give it to others and be honest with others and live in a fantastic world. Oh, yeah. So I started with this big O's. Here we go. Are there objections? That's okay. We got a compass. There's obstacles. Yeah, that's okay. I've got a sextant that's going to get you over any of those obstacles. How about opportunities and options? Yeah, that's what we're going to find. That's what we're going to make together when we do this pivot. So I'm giving you the vision, the focus, and the pivot, because your sovereign rewards down here is what you really want. Yourself, your money, your relationships, not the big political stuff for the big political guy. And so we have to figure these problems out, and we have to get to these points of view. And yes, because you've got to talk about different points of view. So here we go. Yes, this is two-sided divided. This is part of the problem. We have to get past this me and you business. Because if we are going to find a solution, then we need to think about it a little differently. And so this is the simple graphic organizer. You wanted to have a solution. And sometimes you just got to say, oops, I made a mistake. This wasn't exactly the solution that I thought it was going to be, because we still need a solution. And our reputation, this is the future. So this is me trying to explain how to separate out your expectations, your emotions, your experiences, your dreams, because you have yours and I have mine. And we have to figure out how to meet in the middle. And here's where this is at. So here's my new what do I call it? This is my new vision. Here's my new vision. Here we go. So put on those respect goggles. Here I am. Put on that respect and put on that truth values. Put those on. Let's talk about the past. What were your experiences that led you to wanting to be in MAGA? Because those experiences and those assumptions have value, and I want to talk about them. And in the future, your legacy and your expectations of what you want, absolutely. We have to fill this all in with all your information. And so here's the question. Yes, here's the question. MAGA, Trump, JD. So the promises are in action. The prices, the military, the corruption. Step back. Think about it. And if I'm making any sense to you, if you see how I'm trying to develop this program, I'm trying to find a solution to some of the biggest problems that we have. To help someone figure out if they have been betrayed by their voting for President Trump and their alliance with MAGA. And it's a question mark. I have an opinion, but I want everyone to be able to explore this question themselves, because I've done a lot of research and I'm hearing a lot of talk on the internet that people are beginning to feel this betrayal and are beginning to feel a sense of unrest and not sure what to do, because in a situation, with a betrayal, like it's a romantic situation, they broke their trust, the promises, the things they said were not true. And it sets up this question of what else wasn't true, or how do I know what's the facts and what's everybody's opinions? And so as a teacher here, I want to get back to making sure I'm following my notes. Yes, I'm talking about the political division in the United States and having a way to have a peaceful conversation with respect, with truth, and with the protocols that are actually designed by the Nobel Institute and classical argument back from the beginning of the Greek days when we started having these types of discussions. So it's a little bit of political psychology. It's a little bit of values clarification about what is it that makes us who we are. And yes, what makes the American dream what it is. And I think those are two foundations of respect. So it is about, again, this question of should I leave or should I stay in MAGA? Are they delivering on those campaign promises? And I believe they're not. I believe it is a huge betrayal of the United States. And for me, it started with the disrespect and with the lying. So between those two values, then you love this. This is great. But if not, we have to talk about this. So this is the journey. This is what we're on. And I want to make sure that we're following some of these directions and some of these charts that I have, even though they're funny. It's this tipping point. Are we getting to this tipping point? Are you feeling like you've got to figure out what are you going to do about leaving MAGA? And I know that's hard. If you're thinking about leaving MAGA, that's hard because you're going to have to take that hat off. You're going to have to figure some things out. And so I'm talking about today the big O. Okay, I got the big O. Oh, here we go. Let me back up a second. And then, this is funny because I know they're backwards and you can't really see it. But you're going to get the point. I'm going to pretend like I'm on a game show or something. Okay, ready? The big O. Okay, number one, objections. Yeah, objections. People are going to come up with all these different reasons about why they can or why they can't. And the reason that that's a big, simple thing is the compass. The compass is going to give you vision. It's going to give you that vision of focus. Which way are you going to go? We just went through that. Okay. The second one, obstacles. Yeah, the second O on my chart, obstacles. You know, those big roadblocks and hurdles. I got a plan for that one. It's the sextant. We're going to use a 5-point tool. It's going to help you figure out how to get past any obstacles that are in your way. I'm going to use the sextant. And it's called the Oasis Sextant because we're going to talk about your dreams and your goals of where do you want to go. What would be your dream oasis? Yeah, the sextant's going to get you there. That's the focus. So we've got the vision, we've got the focus. My catalyst power. I've got a program, it's called the Catalyst Power. It's going to kick up your energy. You can see how mine is, right? So that is going to give you the power to make this pivot, to make the decision that yes, you gotta leave MAGA. It's tearing you apart. And I'm going to show you the way that it's going to be easy to figure out what comes next. Life after MAGA. And here's the fun part. I think it's the fun part. Okay, we're going to have so many really cool options because we're going to be able to talk about them. We're going to be able to brainstorm. We're going to be able to bring in the resources and work together again because we're going to have common bonds, common goals, respect, truth. Isn't that what America was about? That means you're solid. You're solid. Your rewards, your relationships, your money, and your independence, your brain, your beautiful brain gets to work. That's what I'm doing. So I know it's something different thing. You've got to change your mindset. You've got to get past this whole, it's doom and gloom and finger pointing. It's all of the negativity, all of that hate in this echo chamber because they want us to be divided. That's how they're making the money. We need the money. Let's bring it back to us. Okay? So it's a lot of really important stuff, but it's in us already. And we have to have the power in ourselves to be strong enough to pivot out of the gang, out of that trap, out of that BS, because those promises are not true. They're not coming true. The betrayals are happening.